It must be 7 o'clock in the Lord's time zone. And let me just start out with a nice, friendly, but welcoming, fuck you, DraftKings. God damn it. I don't get to play any of the fun tournaments this week. Fuck you, DraftKings. I'm so pissed off. I went to reserve my 150. I was going to do 150 in the $5, a good amount in the $20. Poof. Those motherfuckers are gone. We'll go play in the secondary. How about you shut your fucking mouth? I don't want to play in those stupid secondary tournaments. I want to play in the primary. So fuck you, DraftKings, for not knowing your audience. Here I am pumping people to your site and getting people to use your product, and you don't even know how to gauge our interest. You don't have to treat us like second-class citizens because it's the swing season. Some people love golf year-round, you motherfather, and I'm one of those guys. I'm pissed off about it. I'm pissed off. I'm slumming it, and what? I had to go hop in the $88, which looked like the only legitimate tournament. The $888 is a third of the prize pool to first. Fuck that. Get out of here. I got a New Year's resolution. If the prize pool is over 25% to first, I'm not playing in it for one full year, and I'm going to see how that treats the big guy, okay? There are people out there that just spam tournaments and can overcome it with just straight volume. That's not the way I play, and that's not who I'm going to be. I know my way to win. That's the only way I know. I'd be the first one to tell you there's other ways to win, but I only know my process. And my process ain't playing in piece of shit tournaments like that, okay? So fuck you, DraftKings. Okay, you know what? After that intro, you got to wonder. I actually, you know what? I'm asking myself, why don't I ever get sponsorship offers? I'm kind of seeing why, big guy. I'm kind of seeing why. Maybe I shouldn't shit on so many people if I want to get sponsored. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm gonna tamp it down. I'm gonna take a quick sip of ranch water. Look at that, the Degenerate ranch water. Look, ranch water inside, big guy. I'm gonna pump the brakes. I'm going to be friendly tonight. Some people have told me I've been being too mean to the new guy. So new guy, I'm going to be really nice to you tonight. You see this big wheel right here over my shoulder? We are going to do a drawing later on in the show. And you know what I'm going to do? If you win that, if your name is on there, which by the way, all you got to do to be on there is just simply go watch my Showdown Hoedown and leave a comment, or just go like and retweet my golf stuff over on Twitter, you get your name on there. I'm going to make a free $20 lineup for me and you that we are going to put in the big tournament and try to win. Although now that the big tournament's full, I guess we'll be playing in the slapdick secondary, or because I'm a cool dude, we can save it till next week, okay? Sorry, I didn't know DraftKings was going to think that nobody loves golf. All right. But you see that? See how it's way over there to the side? I'm not going to do it yet, new guy. You'll leave. And you got to learn about me and my process. If you don't know, I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player. And what I can tell you is I'm not one of those touts that says, here's your picks, brother. Or, I promise you, if you follow me, you'll win. I don't do any of that shit. It's all stupid. It's all nonsense, okay? What I do is I'm a guy who's been doing this for a long time and been very profitable at it. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to help people not suck so bad at this by giving them a couple pointers. And that's what this stream is all about. I also do that on the Showdown Hoedown, which focuses on Showdown if you're not particularly bright. Okay, so come check those out. And know that is my brand. If that doesn't interest you, well, go sign up for the tell sites and fuck off. We'll be fine without you, brother. Okay, if you want to know, here's my schedule, man. Look at that. Right now you're watching the live stream, 7 o'clock every Wednesday, the Lord's time zone. Literally the only time we change it is for the British Open because that shit be way too early. Also do the Showdown Hoedown Friday night, Saturday night, because if you don't know Showdown, there's still an edge out there, even though DraftKings puts out shitty tournaments for it because they're afraid football's going to kill it. I also do Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Showdown Hoedown, with my, and then I do the week-long preview for NFL, too, with my dude John Gold JD, so come check those out. And, of course, I do college football every Friday night, but nobody fucking watches, so who cares? So without further ado, let me get going. By the way, feel free to go hop in this chat. I do Q&A at the end, okay? The big guy's got to leave promptly at 8 o'clock, Lord's time zone. That's Central Standard Time Zone, new guy. And I got to get out of here because I got a hot date with dinner. And then I still got to go put out my ownership, which I'm really trying to prove is the best in the industry. I take a lot of fucking time. I've spent all day on it. I'm like cross-eyed. Like all I see is 19.8%. Like that's all I see right now. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so we're going to shut up. We're going to get going. I basically follow the same process every week. Let's get going. New guy, welcome, brother. I'm glad you're here, man. Glad you're finding me in the swing season. What are the chances of that? What do we got going on here? What is going on here? So let's get over here. Let's go look at golf. We always look at contest selection. As I told you, everything's full. The 333, not particularly great. Or, excuse me, the 888, not great. Look at that. 1/3 of all the money to first. I was going to go hop in that, but you know what? It sucks. It sucks. Like, if I get second place, I'll almost feel like a loser. And then 10th place is only 1/33 of first. Ooh, I almost quadrupled my money for finishing 10th place. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. So what I ended up doing, I went and hopped in this $88, just trying to make the best out of a bad situation. I hate that first place is only $10,000 because honestly, anything under $25,000 for big prizes doesn't really tickle my fancy anymore. I play such high volume. But at the same time, it is only 20% to first, so I like that. And 10th place is at least, 1/18th roughly of first place. Like, I can dig that, right? But let me go ahead and just, instead of pumping up DraftKings, because I'm kind of mad at them, and those bitches ain't going to sponsor me anyways. Hey, Topo Chico, reach out to your boy. We're drinking ranch waters tonight. Always with Topo Chicos. Let me tell you about FanDuel, man. FanDuel, last I saw, still had some open spots. Well, I don't even have shit up. What are we doing here? PGA. And you can see in the main tournament, they still got nope, it filled. Well, fuck me. So, FanDuel, you suck too. Don't be my sponsor. Eat a dick. But I will tell you, here's something I want to talk about. And I talked about this a little bit last week. And actually, John Galt JD, who I do the football shows with, made a really interesting point. Maybe the real play is going over to FanDuel and just being an expert over there. Because if you don't know, this is what 99.8% of people do that play FanDuel. They go make their DraftKings lineups, then they come over to FanDuel and they make their they make their lineups. And if you don't know, FanDuel has way softer golfing pricing, right? So Sam Burns is usually something like 11.2 over on DraftKings. He'll probably be like 12,000 over on FanDuel, but you get way more money per player. You get 10,000 per player. So proportionally speaking, he is actually super cheap and can fit into any lineup, like literally any lineup. So that ends up, a guy like Sam Burns will legit be 55% owned over on FanDuel. So when you start to learn these nuances of FanDuel and realize that everybody treats it like a bastard child, I think there is a real edge over there. Fortunately, I was able to get over there and reserve some spots in their $7.77 tournament to have some action this week to go along with my $88 tournaments over on DraftKings and, of course, my one $200 that I had reserved. But that's it. Sadly, that's it. I'm playing $1,200 this week? Fuck. Pisses me off because if you don't know, the Shriners has been good to the big guy. So that's where we're at. That's what we're just going to have to make note of it. But I'm just telling you, if you're new to this game, I'm telling you, check out FanDuel. Maybe it's better to be the big fish in a little pond than a little fish in a big pond over at DraftKings. It's just a theory. It's a theory. And, my very first two big hits, the ones that kind of catapulted me into being just an average everyday high school teacher that basically turned into a full-time pro at this shit, I won both of them on FanDuel. There you go. Those are facts. So I get it. I used to just play FanDuel because I like their interface more. Now I play DraftKings because they give me more shit and bigger prizes, and I'm just trying to get rich off this shit. That's it. And if you don't know, the more people, the better chance you have of winning. That's why I play DraftKings more than FanDuel. All right, let's keep it going here. Hey, by the way, while you're here, go drop a like and a sub, new guy. You can't help but notice you're not going pew, 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 and skipping all those ads because I'm not a fucking poor and I don't put ads on my channel. And all I ask in return, you go drop a like and a sub. It was literally just last week. I was so excited we were going to get to 1,500 subscribers, which is pretty impressive seeing we've only not even been live for 5 months, right? Now we're almost at 1.6. Go help the big guy out. Go drop a subscribe, you motherfather. I like the cut of your jib. All right. New guy, I got a question for you. I told you I was going to be nice to you tonight. You see the positive energy I'm putting out other than all that shit I talked to DraftKings? Are you ready? Here you go. Hey, new guy, have you made your lineups yet? Have you? Okay, I'm being nice. It's okay. But I want you to know you shouldn't have made your lineups. First of all, that's rule number 1. You already broke it. You don't make your lineups until you watch this show. Why? Because I am going to ask you some really tough questions. And I'm going to give you some things to think about that are going to directly impact what you should do this week. So if you've already made your lineups and you're committed to your lineups and you love your lineups and they got your picks, well, then you're already a fucking loser. Okay. I can't help you. I'm trying to help you not be a loser. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to have some patience and you got to wait till you have the latest, most up-to-date news to make the most educated decisions because PGA DFS is fucking hard and you need any edge you can get. And that is what I am trying to provide you here. But if you've already made your lineups and you're not going to go change them after watching this, well, then you're already fucked. You might as well just go play a fucking scratch off at 7-Eleven, brother. Grab a hot dog and a slushie while you're there. So let's talk about some of these things that we're going to go over that may change your mind about what you should play. You ready? You ready for a redemption question, new guy? I like you. And I'm being nice, so that makes me like you a little bit more. What's the first thing we check, new guy? What's the first thing we should always check? What's the first thing you should always check at golf? The one thing that will always lead to an objective advantage in golf. I said it last week. I told you to play the afternoon guys last week. That's right, new guy. Good job, brother. It's weather. And so, like I told you last week, if you had to lean, go Thursday PM, Friday AM, guys. And it ended up being about somewhere between a third and a half of a shot of a difference. And if you don't understand that a third and a half of a shot of a difference between 6 players is a big difference, well, then you're a fucking moron and you probably don't need to watch this, because that's a decent sized difference. It's not like, oh my God, I won all the money because I played this, but it was definitely an edge. And I said that you should use that to break your tiebreakers. If you followed that, you probably were doing okay. So let's talk a little bit about weather for this week, and let's see if it's going to possibly lead to any type of advantage. The first thing I noticed is it's mild out there, right? This poor course, it doesn't have a lot of defense. It's made to be a birdie course. It's basically a resort course. And the one thing that it can have is because Las Vegas sits down in a little valley, which I've been to Vegas many times. It is, you look around, it's like fucking mountains everywhere, but the Vegas sits down in that little valley. So sometimes those winds will come down swooping, which, by the way, takeoffs from Las Vegas can be scary sometimes. So can landings. Why? Because those winds come pushing off. But right now, Wind Finder, which I tend to trust the most, is showing not only is the wind not going to be high, we're not even going to have gusts either Thursday or Friday. You're saying, well, what about Saturday and Sunday? Nobody fucking cares, because everybody's going to have to plan that, right? So we just care about Thursday and Friday. And right now, it would appear to me that the afternoon waves each day will have slightly worse conditions, but like nothing extravagant, right? Like it'll probably be whatever advantage the Friday afternoon or the Thursday afternoon guys get, the Friday afternoon guys will make up on Friday. So I see nothing here, right? I see nothing to make me think that there is a weather edge. Furthermore, because of this weather and it only peaking at 88 degrees both days, I don't think the course is going to get super firmed and baked out. However, I do want to say this, and I just saw this on my Discord. I have a very large Discord with a lot of smart people in it, and a guy just shared an article with me that showed me that as of this summer, they have a new superintendent there who is taking it a little bit more seriously, and he wants to firm up this course. So one thing to consider is, at least one source has told me, that might be a little firmer than we're expecting. And that would legit be the only protection of this course, is that there's not soft greens. If they have firm greens where the ball hits and rolls out 20 feet, well then, yeah, it might be a little bit different, right? Because that really stops them from just throwing darts, spinning it 2 feet from the cup and making birdie every hole. So that is something to consider, right? I will tell you, last week, I told you it would not be a birdie fest. I literally said the winning score would be 18 under. I think it was 17 under. And I said that 5th place would be T13. I think it was legit T13. You're fucking welcome. Okay, this is why you don't listen to all the slapdicks in the industry who just repeat the same narrative. Actually, go listen to the people that have their own takes. And those are the people you want to listen to. But you need to know this, new guy. We check more than one source around here. We're adults. So let's see what old Willy Weather's saying. It is saying it picks up a little bit Thursday afternoon. It's saying it picks up a little bit Friday afternoon, but only to gentle both days. Not seeing a lot that scares me there. Let's go check Weather Channel. A wise old prophet once told me. He said, if you want to follow one piece of advice, the Weather Channel does weather. I didn't know what the fuck he meant. Now I know. And you can see Thursday afternoon, it's soft in the morning, picks up to a blistering 6 miles an hour in the afternoon. Friday, soft in the morning, picks up to a blistering 7. So not a lot to be concerned about there, right? So when it comes to weather, the only thing I'm really considering, the only way I could see this playing out is maybe with 92 degrees and a superintendent whose goal is to bake it out. Maybe that could be the one protection of the course, but it gets up to the same 92 degrees each day, so that baked out course would affect both sides equally. The only thing you should consider there is maybe we don't put so much weight on if it's an easy course and we can view it more as an average course, because hard greens, firm greens do lead to higher scores, right? Because if they're not just throwing a dart to 3 feet every time, like they hit it at 3 feet, but it rolls out to 23 feet, that's not usually a birdie. That's not usually, if it's me, it's a bogey. I'll 3-putt. So that's what you need to consider from there. That's what you need to take from the weather. All right? We're moving on to the next category. Hey, by the way, did you know I put this out on pod? If you're like, I really like your show, man, but I don't like the YouTube. Okay, I get it, brother. I put all this on pod. Go check it out on pod. You don't even got to watch the YouTube. I do appreciate it, though. While you're here, like and subscribe, big guy. All right. If you don't know, the big guy, we are tracking this chalk donkey narrative. You don't know, I am the man who invented the term chalk donkey, okay, donkey chalk in the industry, right? And by the way, I know it's popular because I've heard at least 2 people copy it. A lot of my terms get copied. It's all right. That's all right. That just means people are watching. I appreciate you, motherfathers, you copying SOBs. Let me drink, quick drink. As you can see here, every week I'm picking 3 chalk donkeys. I'm giving a primary pivot off of those guys, like who's just like the most logical pivot that's at least 50% lower ownership. And then I'm giving like a true punt at a pivot, right? And as you can see, we're tracking this every week. We're going to track this for a full year, so there's not going to be this, why does the chalk donking only... Okay, well, first of all, we'll fucking have numbers to verify that if it's true. And so far, last week was a relatively good week for Donkey Chalk. Taylor Moore, Davis Riley, and Dean Burmeister all finished in the top 20, right? However, none of those positions, I guess Dean Burmeister at 4th was kind of a kick in the nuts, but T19 and T9 versus those salaries weren't exactly deal breakers. Plus, Keegan Bradley was the pivot that I gave off of Davis Riley, so he made sense. Even Bez scored very comparable points to him. So far, it's tracking pretty even. Last week was kind of like, what would that be? Episode 5 of Star Wars. It was the Chalk Strikes Back. That's what it was, right? Because the Chalk ate the dick the first week, but they bounced back a little bit last week. So we're going to be doing that every week. So that's what we're going to be tracking. I'm going to give you 3 Donkey Chalk picks tonight, and then we're going to track them. Which, by the way, we're going to go off my final ownership, which I will only put out for my Discord. All the ownership you see tonight will be simply my rough draft because I still don't have all the parameters that I need for my thing to make the most accurate ownership in the community that I spend way too much time on because I don't have a fucking job. So this is what I do. All right, let's get to it, guys. Hey, did you know that I fucking love this tournament? People always hear me talk about I love Party Marty Laird. I have a soft spot in my heart. Here's why. Because that motherfucker made a 40-foot birdie putt in what was that? A fucking playoff round, and with that got me up to second place. I think it was one of those guys. I can't remember who. It was either Answer or Bryson. Somebody like bogeyed 18. They just needed a par, and I would have won first for $100,000. But what are you gonna do, right? So that was back when they had the nice $10 resurgence. Loved that contest. So this contest, I'm very partial to the Shriners. A big hit here. One of my bigger hits I've ever had. So this place has a special place in my heart. Okay, let's talk about it. Don't get choke. Chalk and okay chalk. All right. So first of all, if you don't know what chalk is, new guy, I'm going to walk you through it because as I made a promise, I'm being nice to the new guy tonight. John tells me I'm too mean to the new guy. By the way, you better get your questions over there. The big guys, I'm in a good pace tonight, so I'm going to be over to those questions quick. If you don't put a question mark, I'm not answering it, Bob. So, what do you need to know about chalk? Chalk is just a general term in DFS, which means somebody is highly owned. But that can be a very misleading term, and I see this a lot in PGA DFS, where people just aren't as sharp as they are in football DFS. Chalk is a relative term. Chalk means how high owned somebody is relative to the people around them, right? So to just generically call somebody chalk and treat all chalk as equal is a fucking, that's a noob move. And if you don't know, this is the show that the sharps come to watch. All the noobs, they can go watch the big names in the industry. They can go watch Captain Slappy's do that, okay? This is where the sharps watch, or at least people that are striving to be sharps. And you have to understand that chalk is a nuanced term. And if it's nuanced, then we got to show the nuance when we talk about what is chalk and what not, and what is not chalk. Most people would say simply chalk is just the highest owned guys are just simply the chalk, right? But that is not always accurate. What people fail to consider is that naturally Patrick Cantlay is just going to be highly owned because he's the most expensive player. In a week like this where we have very soft pricing, you should expect to see guys who are more expensive be highly owned. Because if we know one fucking rule about DFS, people spend their money. Even the wildest guys are like, I'm going to get crazy and leave $300 on the table. Okay, well, so you're spending literally 99% of your money. Great. You've only proved my point, right? No, that'd actually be 99.4 if you want to check my math on that. So Patrick Cantlay is just naturally going to get ownership based on his salary, right? So then we have to start asking ourselves, well, at what point does he become chalk? Well, how much of that is actually people wanting to play him versus people just naturally playing him simply because of what his salary is? And that's where we have to have this nuanced discussion about what is chalk and what level of chalk it is. So let's get into this. These are my top 12 highest owned. By the way, if you want to see all 147 players, 148 players that are in this field and exactly what their ownership is, well, I do that. And it takes me all fucking day. And I change it twice. I still have to go put out my final ownership from my Discord. If you want to know that, fucking check out the Discord. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to give it all to you here. I spend way too much fucking time on it. But I will give you the top 12, new guy, because I like the cut of your jib. That's from a boat. Okay. So Patrick Cantlay at 35%. Here's what I'm going to say about Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay is definitively the best golfer in this field. Definitively the best golfer. Patrick Cantlay kills easy courses. He is notorious for tearing apart easy courses. Patrick Cantlay is a very reasonable 11-1. At least they made him more expensive than they made Sam Burns last week, which is almost the exact same situation, but still very, very reasonable. And I would say Patrick Cantlay is, clearly a better player than Sam Burns, right? So here we are with Patrick Cantlay. And Patrick Cantlay, I have right now coming in at 35%. That is insane ownership in PGA DFS. If you're new to PGA DFS, when you start getting over 30%, you're entering like the holy grail of like, what the fuck chalk, right? And so Patrick Cantlay coming in at 35%, I could give you 50 reasons you should play Patrick Cantlay. I should give you 50 reasons that he is okay chalk. But at the end of the day, I'm a man of incredible scruples, and I have to tell you that Patrick Cantlay is going to be what I would call donkey chalk. And it's just simple. It's simple. This is where it's at, right? I have made a rule long ago that almost without exception, in a full field event, when somebody gets over 30%, without exception, they are donkey chalk. And here's why. Because Patrick Cantlay is a better player than every person in this field. Patrick Cantlay tears easy courses apart. Patrick Cantlay is a fair price. So then why on earth is he donkey chalk? Well, first of all, there's obvious pivots off of him, right? There's guys that are legit going to be 1/2, maybe even 1/3 his ownership directly next to him, right? So that right there, when there's clear pivots that are offered, that makes somebody donkey chalk, right? You got to consider that. You got to consider that Patrick Cantlay is donkey chalk because of that. Furthermore, this is a birdie fest. Well, we're assuming this is going to be a birdie fest if you're not buying the narrative that the superintendent's going to try to make it real tough. But if it does play as a birdie fest, that actually makes me like Patrick Cantlay less, because in a birdie fest, when the scoring conditions are easy, that really minimizes the difference between the best player in the tournament and the worst player in the tournament. The tougher a course gets, the further that valley is, right? But the easier it is, the more that shrinks, because all these guys can throw darts, right? So because it's a birdie fest, and because he is coming in at roughly 35% ownership, I'm sorry, I hate to do it, but Patrick Cantlay is donkey chalk. Now, you hear me, and you hear me good, new guy. I'm going to probably put 4 guys on here as donkey chalk. I am. But what you got to remember is donkey chalk doesn't mean you can't play them. It just simply means that, like, at most, you should play one donkey chalk guy, and you got to follow this one rule, new guy. You got to be at least 2x his ownership. So if you want to play Patrick Cantlay tomorrow, I get it. I truly do get it. But you got to play him in at least 70% of your lineups. You fucking have fun with that, sticking an $11,100 guy in 70% of your lineups while still getting the exposure to all the other guys you want. It ain't going to be easy, new guy. It's not going to be easy. All right, and a clear second. So you got like 1A way up here, and then 1B is a big drop, but nowhere near 2. You've got Sungjae Im. Sungjae Im coming in at roughly 30%. I get it. Sungjae Im checks every box. Sungjae Im has been playing great. He is coming off the President's Cup. He is a very affordable 10-4, and honestly, he is a clear step above the players just below him, right? Specifically, Aaron Wise, Taylor Montgomery, players like that. But you know what? This is golf, brother. This ain't fucking NBA where you play X amount of minutes and you get X amount of points. And because of that, I'm sorry to tell you, Sungjae Im, he's donkey chalk. Okay, I can't do it. He's almost 30%. When I do my final edit tonight, he might be 30%. Sorry, brother. And Sungjae Im at 30%, I ain't ever gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But I will tell you this. If you decide, yeah, fuck Patrick Cantlay, you're right, DGen75, but I gotta play Sungjae. Okay, new guy, I get it. I really do get it. I get why you would like Sungjae Im. But you gotta promise me this. If you're gonna play Sungjae Im, you get him in 60% of your lineups. You're playing 20 lineups this week, you make sure he's in 12 of them. You're playing 100 lineups, you make sure he's in 60. You're playing 150 lineups, you make sure he's in 90. That's a big commitment to old Sungjae Im, right? A guy who randomly just spins his wheels. I will tell you, there is almost zero chance that Cantlay or Im misses the cut. But I will tell you, there is a very decent chance they finish T32. And at that price tag, at that ownership, if they finish T32, they're fucking toast. They're not going to get there. Too many guys are going to score. So you basically are playing that Cantlay has to finish T4 or better, probably to pay off that price tag. And Sungjae basically has to finish T6 or better to pay off that price tag. And if one of those other high-scoring guys, Tom Kim, Taylor Montgomery, the high-salary guys, Max Homa, if they go win it, well, now Cantlay and Im are almost complete negative leverage plays because there's almost no chance they get there if Homa's got there because people aren't going to probably stack Homa with either one of those guys. This is the game you're playing. All right, Tom Kim. Fuck. This one hurts my heart. My favorite guy this week. I still might play him. Fuck you. I don't care. But Tom Kim at 22%, that's donkey chalk. That's donkey chalk. Anytime a guy gets over 20%, instant red flags should go up. When there's clear pivots off of him, you got to ask yourself, are they donkey chalk? I think Tom Kim probably is donkey chalk, which hurts me. Which, by the way, if I told you that I'm not playing any of those top three guys, I'd probably be lying to you. There's a very good chance I'm going to play one of those top three guys. Even me, the guy whose whole brand is fuck your donkey chalk. If I'm committed to a guy, I don't give a fuck what his ownership, I'm going to play him. I will tell you this. There's no chance I'll play all three of those guys, and very, very, very little chance I even play two of them in my player pool. I'm going to pick one of them. I'm going to shit, or I'm going to get off the pot, if you know what I'm saying, brother. All right, let's move on to Aaron Wise. Aaron Wise, you're like, 18.8%. That's donkey chalk. You know what? I'm going to throw you a new one, newbie. I'm going to fuck with your brain. Aaron Wise is only 18.8% because he's simply the fourth highest priced guy in this tournament. I actually consider him a relatively decent pivot off those guys up there. So yes, is he chalk because he's going to be around 19%? Yes, he is. But that is not donkey chalk, and it's certainly not air chalk. That's just simply he's getting ownership because of his price. That's all it is. If you look at the top five guys in a tournament and every person in the field plays each of those guys at least once, then all of them should have, on average, a minimum of 20%. And I have Aaron Wise lower than that. So because of that, I'm only going to put him as okay chalk. Yes, he is chalk, but very acceptable chalk if he's really going to come in at that 19%. We'll have to see what the final ownership says tonight, big guy. Let's keep it moving here. We're going to get going down the board. Taylor Montgomery. What is Taylor Montgomery? I hate to say this because I kind of like him. And I will tell you, I honestly was for sure Taylor Montgomery was going to be donkey chalk this week. He lives in Las Vegas. He has gotten all the people who've rode him the last 2 weeks there. And I think he's very fairly priced at $9,500. Maybe a hair overpriced for this field, but nothing that's egregious. So because of that, he's not truly donkey chalk, but he is definitely chalk. Like, I don't know about that one, brother. Max Homa. Max Homa is the definition of okay chalk, right? Like, yes, he's 16%, which is what? Roughly the tied for sixth highest in the field as of right now. But that's only because of his price tag, right? People are going to spend their money, so they're going to naturally select Max Homa. But Max Homa, there's no way you can consider him bad chalk when he's such an obvious pivot off of Cantley and M. Cam Davis, I hate to do this, but when you just look at everybody around him, he's just so much higher owned than all the other guys around him, and there's clear pivots. I think you got to call him donkey chalk. Taylor Pendrith is underpriced, and I was for sure was going to be donkey chalk, but I'm actually going to classify him as chalk. Like, he is a little too high versus the guys around him. But if he's really going to come in at that 14.2%, which once again, for the 47th fucking time, I still have to do my final ownership. But based on this, I would just call him chalk. But Matthew Neesmith has been getting talked up in the industry. Matthew Neesmith is $7,500, and Matthew Neesmith is clearly higher ownership than most of the people around him. Donkey chalk, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with your Matthew Neesmith. Thomas Dietrich, the problem is, and this is a weird thing. You got to hear me on this, new guy. Normally, donkey chalk is like the whole community. Everybody pools around 4 or 5 guys. But with so many of the big names in this industry not putting out content this week, there just hasn't been enough movement to get all of the ownership on a certain guy. So honestly, the ownership this week is relatively spread out. And outside of the top 2 guys, there's not like any disgusting donkey chalk out there. So because of that, I think I'm going to be in a good mood and call Thomas Dietrich chalk. And on that same token, I think Seamus Power is way too high versus where he should be and his approach. But at the same time, it's like 12%. Like, how fucking chalky is that? So I'm going to give him chalk. And Emiliano Grillo, even though I have him as the 12th highest owned guy, that's just because he's 9,200, 9,300, and people are going to spend their salary. So I think that the 3 guys I'm going to go with as donkey chalk is going to be Matthew Neesmith, definitely Sungjae Im, and I got to be strategic. And I think the third one I'm going to go with, I'll probably do another one later for my Discord where I pick them, but it's either going to be Tom Kim or Cam Davis, okay? And I'm going to who are the pivots? I'll put it on my video tonight that I make for the Discord. So there you go. That's ownership. Those are the top 12. You want more? Well, I'll be putting out the full one probably by 9 o'clock Lord's time zone. All right? There you go. Speaking of which, you're like, what the hell is this Discord you're always talking about? Well, there it is. It's connected through my Patreon where we got a ton of members over there. Fucking look at all these people. All these are the people in the Discord. I appreciate all you motherfathers. Oh, that's not enough for you? Oh, I got a whole nother page of them. All these people are why I don't have to do ads. They're the reason that I can put out this content. They're awesome. They help me pay my editor. Okay? If you want to be a part of it, it'll be in the description. Come check it out. If not, well, just enjoy the free shit and shut the fuck up. Okay, so let's get to the model. Here we go. Some things I looked at. I want guys that are going to be in the fairway, bent grass, approach, easy courses. Greens and regulation was very important. Didn't give much weight at all to, hey, what the fuck? I just realized I got 200 yards on there twice. Man, what a fucking noob. Man, I already did. Jesus, now I got to go redo that again. Editor, I got 200 yards proximity on here twice. Fuck me, I'm a moron. Jesus, okay. So I need to remove one of these. Whatever. Remove that one. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so here's my model. I'm feeling like, oh, I've got your model. I'm going to win all the money. First of all, fuck your model. Models matter, but they matter to, like, find nuance and find guys that are sleepers, not be like, oh, Patrick Cantlay's #1 in my model? I don't believe it. The best golfer in the world? Well, let me rephrase that. The best golfer in this tournament's #1 in my model? How fucking shocking. I can't believe it. Get the fuck out of here. People, like, use models to reinforce what they want to say. I can't fade Sung J M. He's #2 in my model. What the fuck were you expecting to see? It's Sung J M. He's fucking good at everything. Of course he's going to be #2 in the model. Pump the brakes. Jesus. Okay, so what you want to know about the model is what I looked at, right? I looked at some recent form, who's played well at this course, who plays well at easy courses, proximity from certain ranges, generic par 4 and par 5 scoring, stuff like that. But what we're going to use the model is we're going to use it to kind of find some ways to, maybe find some dudes like Emiliano Grillo, 4th in the model, which I don't give a fuck about his rank. But here's what I care about. He's a guy that hits it in the fairways. Look at that good drives, right? He's coming in with good ball striking. He's very good on easy courses. He's a greens and regulation monster, great at par 4 and par 5 scoring, and is immaculate from 200 yards plus, which is the most common second shot these guys are going to have. So if nobody wants to play Emiliano Grillo, fuck you, I'll play him. That's where it's at. That's pretty simple, right? That's pretty simple shit. I will play the guy that nobody wants to play. He's popping in my model, and I don't care about his overall. All right, let's go on. Nobody wants to play Alexander Noren, right? Oh, look at that. He's 45 in your model. You can't put a guy 45 in your model. He's terrible. Okay, so don't play Alexander Noren, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go see Alexander Noren as one of the best bent grass putters in this field. He's 6th in that. On easy courses, he's a top 10 player. So Alexander Noren loves to tear up an easy course, which goes against everything everybody thinks. Everyone's like, oh, I'll take Alex Noren on the hard course. Well, the fucking stats would say otherwise, dumbass. He hasn't played here before, but I don't give a flying fuck. He's really good at par 5 scoring. So what I see is, yes, he sucks at a couple stats, but I see 3 or 4 stats he pops in that makes me think that he could blow the fuck up. And if I'm going to give him at 6% ownership, fuck you, I'll play him. Sorry, new guy. These fuck yous aren't at you. These are all the people that in the community that spout stupid shit that all the noobs go, listen to. So that's who the fuck yous are aimed at. Here's one that nobody's talking about. Oh, the Hobbit himself, Brian Harman. Some have called him Pip. Some have called him Frodo. I don't know. You call him whatever you want. His approach has been great coming in. He's a great putter, especially on bent. He has been ball striking coming in. He has great course history here. He's a decent par 4, par 5 score, and he has to be good from 200 plus because that's where all the little Hobbit shots are coming from. So nobody wants to play Brian Harman? All right, sign my ass up for his little ass. Give me a high five, Brian. He had to jump up, but he got it. He got there. Then you go look at guys like Taylor Pendrith. Oh, my God. He's a model god. He is the best. There's no way he could fail. He is plus in every stat. Okay, you go play Taylor Pendrith. I'll just go play somebody else. That's a very simple game. It's a simple game. This is why I don't read too much into it. Nobody wants to play Keith Mitchell this week, right? Well, I see that Keith Mitchell has some ball striking coming in. Keith Mitchell rolls the ball really well on bent. Keith Mitchell's a really good par 4 scorer. Okay, I get it. But where you really want to use the model, if you really want to learn how to use a model, and by the way, fuck Fantasy National. I don't give a shit about Fantasy National. I just use them because I have a membership, and that shit doesn't expire till December. Okay? The only reason that I use it is I'm still user-friendly. I'm working on some backroom deals to get a new model creator. But what you really want to do is you want to use your model to find sleepers. Okay, how do you find sleepers from the model? Well, forget this overall ranking. Get out of here with that stupid shit. What you really want to do is you want to go find some guys that pop in some specific categories, right? So, like, if I see a guy that, like right here, Patrick Rogers. Okay. another example. Fuck Patrick Rogers. You play Patrick Rogers, you're a loser. You're a fucking loser. Don't play Patrick Rogers. You're welcome, you motherfather. You're welcome. I just saved you. How much are you doing in lineups this week? $200? I just saved you $200 in money. So here's how you use it, right? So maybe I want to go look at somebody like a David Lipsky, right? Pretty good at easy courses. Pretty good at ball striking. Pretty good on approach recently. 8th in the model. Okay, well, that could be misleading because he's 8th in the model. I want to find a really good one to paint my picture here. Here's a good one. Adam Schenk, which, by the way, totally fucked me last week. I'm mad at him, too. Trust me. Schenk versus the U.S. That's a free speech case, American history. Okay, so Adam Schenk, really good course history. Adam Schenk, really good ball striking coming in. Adam Schenk, pretty good on easy courses. Adam Schenk, good bent grass putter. See how I'm finding like all these things? Yes, Adam Schenk sucks at par fours. Adam Schenk sucks at key distances that I care about. It's Adam Schenk, okay? You're paying $6,500. Do you think you're going to get the fucking nuts from somebody? No. You're looking for a guy that pops in certain categories. That's what you use models for. To go find those sleepers that like, hey, in 3 or 4 of these categories, he's really good. If he just focuses on what he's good at and mitigates what he's bad at, maybe this is the week that motherfather pops. And that is how you find these sleepers like Adam Schenk, right? And that's what I'm doing. That's how I use the model. I'm not just sitting here being like, oh, this guy ranks 14th on my model. I have to use him. Oh, wait, that's funny I said that because that's literally what Adam Schenk is. So there's the model. That's how I use it. You want all my sleepers? Well, I made a full fucking video of them earlier, right? I'll give you 2 sleepers. Here we go. 2 sleepers. Don't want to give my good ones. I don't want to give my good ones. Hey, here's a good one for you. Harry Hall. Harry Hall sucks. He's been terrible the last 2 weeks, but Harry Hall lives in Las Vegas, and I think there is something to be said for strokes gained comfortability, right? And so these guys that live there, I am actually strongly considering guys that live in that area way more than guys that aren't, right? Garrick Higo, great week last week, lives in the greater Las Vegas area. He's been at home, sleeping in his own bed, probably played this course, knows desert course as well. Sign my ass up. Joseph Bramlett, who I always call Josh Bramlett. Once again, been playing terrible. Look at those statistics. He's 114th in my model. I could never play him. I can't play him. Why? Because your stupid fucking model. Joseph Bramlett lives in Las Vegas. Joseph Bramlett plays these courses all the time. These are the kind of guys I'm considering, right? I like that. Scott Piercy, Charlie Hoffman. These guys live in that area, and both of these guys strangely have found like 45-year-old like superpowers and had decent seasons in the year of 2022. Those are things I'm considering, right? So there's just some sleepers to consider, right? That's some sleepers. You want them all? Too fucking bad, Bob. Too fucking bad. All right, Ricky Fowler, please go play him so I can have. If you go play Ricky Fowler, that will basically cover the 10% edge or the 10% rake that DraftKings takes. So please go play Ricky Fowler. I'll fade him, and that covers the rake right there. I appreciate you, brother. You're doing the Lord's work. You're doing the Lord's work. All right, that's the model. That's it. Oh, yeah, the one guy I am definitely playing, you motherfather. Who is the one guy I'm playing? I got to be so careful with this. It's the swing season, and when none of the big names are putting out any content, you'd be a fucking fool not to realize that I can move the needle a little bit. So the one guy I'm definitely going to play, I got to do it. Fuck. I shouldn't do this. The one guy I'm definitely playing, Taylor Montgomery. I fucking love him. He lives in Las Vegas. He keeps getting it done every way possible, and I think he's going to be that next Corn Ferry star. Fuck me. I had him as chalk. Now that I did this, he's probably going to be donkey chalk. All the more reason to fade him for all you guys that are playing the game out there. The one guy I'm definitely not playing, not in a million fucking years am I eating 30% Sung J M chalk. You get the fuck out of here, Sung J. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't going to play you. So there you go. That's the one guy I'm playing, the one guy I'm definitely not playing. Let's roll the wheel. This is to win a $20 ticket next week because stupid DraftKings tournaments have already filled. This is for all the people that like and retweet my shit. Kevin Fontenot, number 2. Let's go. Me and you are making a ticket. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for retweeting my shit. I'm going to put the schedule up as I answer these questions. Feel free to get those questions in now. Drop a like. Go subscribe, new guy. I hope you like the cut of my jib because I got to tell you, if you didn't, this is the nicest I'm ever going to be to the new guy. So you got to get in there. All right, let's see. Jordan Thompson says, for my 3-max, I have a 10-player pool with 3 golfers in every lineup. Is that acceptable, Jordan? I actually fucking love that. I think that's perfect. Have a core of 3 guys that you play in all of them, and then rotate those last 3 spots with the other 7 players. I think that's perfect, Jordan. That's the best way to play it, my man. Joanne Sluice says, a 10K, a 9K golfer, and then 4 7K golfers. That should be a good play this week. Joanne, I do like that, right? Especially if you make sure that your 10K and your 9K golfer, just make sure only one of them is chalky. Don't go, Sung Jae and then drop to Tom Kim, right? That's going to be a very, very chalky start. So just try to differentiate between your 10K and your 9K guy. If you want to eat the chalk at one of those spots, that's fine, but I would not eat the chalk at both of those. And yes, I do like the 7K because I feel like the 7K golfers are noticeably better than the 6K golfers this week. Let the big guy get a drink. All right. My man Christian up in here. What's up, brother? All right. What's up, everyone? That's not a question, at least for me. What's up, G-Gen? What are your thoughts on the winning score this week? Man, I nailed that shit last week, Travis, so I shouldn't say anything because I don't want to run my hot streak. I will tell you that one thing got me a little concerned. I'm going to go minus 21. I think it will play just a hair harder. I'm going to buy that narrative, but, man, it's going to be easy. What's up, motherfathers? Okay. Who is your favorite outright play win this week? How highly owned will Cantlay be? I saw some experts predicting 33%. Bill, 33%? Laughable. He'll be more than that. We have good proof of this. I was the one really touting this up last week that Burns was going to come in at runaway ownership. I think I projected him at 37, and in the big tournament, he did come in at 37. So, I think we're kind of on that trajectory right now with Cantlay. I would say at minimum, I feel pretty comfortable he'll get to at least 35. All right. Can you do me a favor? There are 3 new people watching. Kayla, Chris, and Tim, all huddled around my laptop watching your stream. Would you please send a hi and welcome to the GGM family? Hey, Kayla, Chris, and Tim. What's up, you motherfathers? Thanks for being here. I appreciate the support. My man, Jean Gustafson. Wait, hold on. Jean Gustafson, yeah. He's a little Swiss Army man, and I love that guy, and he's always here to support me, and so I'll do anything he asks me to do. So thank you guys for being here. You're fucking legends. Sorry for cussing. I hope you're not children. All right, let's see. Aaron, let's go. When building multiple single entries, do you always do the same lineup? No, I don't, Nick. Matter of fact, I talk about this a lot in football. I'll probably play like 5 or 10 single entry lineups at football, and I'll do the same thing at golf a lot once the contests don't fucking suck. DraftKings. And Nick, when I do that, I just treat every lineup as an individual opportunity to disperse my player pool, right? I want to have X% of this player, so I make sure to, spread them out. And I also really like to consider when I'm making those single entries, I like to mix and match my low-owned guys, right? So let's say I really like James Hahn this week, and he's going to be low-owned. Well, I make sure to get him in some of my higher dollar single entries because if he's going to be low-owned in the big $20, not a soul's going to own his ass in the $200 single entry. Am I right? Am I right? Right. Okay. I like the question, Nick. How many different lineups should we play if we're entering 5 lineups and the 20 max and a $3 contest? 5 different. What the fuck are you asking me? How many different lineups should we play if we are entering 5 lineups in the 20? Well, first of all, Bill, if you're going to play a 20 max, put 20 in it. Don't give those motherfathers leverage on you. Okay. So if you're playing 5 lineups and a 5 lineup player pool, I would be between 10 and 12 players. If you're playing a 20 max, I would be between 13 and 15. Optimal last week was 46,400 or so. I felt comfortable leaving 2K on the table and it worked. Is this swing season time to do such strategies? I mean, honestly, yeah, because the difference between a $9,000 golfer and a $7,000 golfer this week is about much. Not a whole lot better. So you can do it. I'll never do it. I can't more. Literally, there's something in my brain that if I left more than 500 on the table, I just have to punch myself in the nuts. Which I already do plenty every time I play Kyle Stanley. I'm not playing him this week. Fuck that loser. All right, moving along. Weather. What's wrong with Brent Venables' defense? I got an easier question for you. Asaqua. What defense, you motherfather? All right, moving on. We're moving on. We're not going to stand for slander of Boomer effing Sooner. Jeffrey Kilmer, great question. Why? Wait, why what? Oh, wait, I skipped Delbert. Sorry, Delb. What's making people gravitate towards Neesmith this week? It's very simple. He got talked up on 2 of the big shows early in the week. He has good course history here. He is rounding in form, and every time Neesmith is chalk, he fucking delivers. So just get ready for Neesmith. T15 at worst. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, he'll get there. Don't worry. If Donkey Dick's play him, he'll get there. And you know what? All I can do, Delbert, is this. Saturday, he will be in 100% of my showdown lineups because fuck those chalk donkeys. Okay. Do you prefer Neesmith or Hubbard? Definitely Hubbard. I was all over Hubbard last week. I pump Hubbard's like stock all the time. I love that man, his little stupid short putter. And now you give me that he's on approach and he can putt the ball. Look, if him and Neesmith are both going to have great irons, which one can I count on to deliver putts? It's going to be Mark Hubbard, like 99 times out of 100. So I'll take Hubbard every day and twice on Sunday, and you give me lower ownership, I'm fucking dancing in the streets naked. Wise is not wise. Okay. Hey, Jared, I get that. I kind of like Wise. I kind of do, especially if he's going to come in at lower ownership. Nobody wants to play him. I'll play him. I will. Is he overpriced? Yes. Aaron Wise should be 9,300 in this field. But he's what? 9,900? He's overpriced. And I like overpriced guys. Why would I pay more for a guy that is overpriced? Because that's how you get leverage, dickhead. I'm not calling you a dickhead. The guy that asked that question. Calm down, man. Calm down. It's almost like you've heard of these guys talk in real life. Oh, I have, sir. I have. My favorite thing to do is whenever people, if you knew how many DMs I got on Twitter, because I leave that shit open, every time somebody asks me a question on Twitter, I like to give them a voice. And I read their question a lot in that voice. Hey, did that have a 5? You cuss too much. Okay, thanks, dipshit. All right, what tools are you using for the model? What tools do you recommend for finding players to include in your player pool? So when, Bill, I'm pretty sure you're on the Discord. I make that video when I make the model, and I go back and I look at the past 3 years of that course and see what stats have been correlated to success. I look at what type of players have done well there, and then I use that to pick my stats. Then after I pick those stats, I assign them weights based on how important I think those are. And then once I've done that, I've just done it so many times that I know not to look at the overall rating, but to go look at who is popping in specific statistics, much like I did earlier in the stream. I hope that answered your question, brother. Zach, my man Zach, how would the concept of fading salary range look like this week in order to get different while using some chalk? Well, first of all, Zach, I was trying to keep that strategy for the Discord, you motherfather. I don't share that stuff with the YouTubers. But yeah, if you want to talk about fading, if you want to talk about pivoting off of a range, there's some ranges. That upper 9K range and that upper 8K range seem to get a lot more chalky versus the lower 9K range and the lower 8K range, right? So if I'm pivoting this week, instead of pivoting off Cantlay or M, maybe you eat the M chalk. Maybe you eat the Cantlay chalk, the Tom Kim chalk, whoever the fuck you like. But then instead of pivoting off of one of those guys, you pivot off of a range. Because so many lineups are going to start something like Sung J M Tom Kim, right? Or Sung J M and I'm trying to think who's another guy in that range. I don't have it memorized off of my head. A lot of lineups are going to start Tom Kim and Cam Davis, right? So instead of playing Cam Davis, you just go move down a little bit more and you play Norn or somebody like that. That's how you do it, right, brother? Let me get the schedule back up so people can see my schedule and come watch my shit. Who are some of your favorite plays between 7,500 and 8K? Well, you got a lot of great questions tonight, Bill. Let's see. My favorite play, Maverick McNeely, I really, really like. Keith Mitchell, I'm warm to. Thomas Dietrich is chalk. Ricky Fowler, get the fuck out of here. Mito Pereira, he looks great in the model, but honestly, if nobody's going to play Mito, I will play him. But yeah, I thought he was going to be chalked, but when I did my initial ownership, he wasn't. And then I'm always a KH Lee. Like KH Lee, anytime he's at a TPC course, and KH Lee is one of those few guys, and I got to stand by this. I truly believe this week. You need guys that can get nuclear hot. And KH Lee is about one of 10 guys on the PGA Tour that just gets fucking nuclear hot. Like that guy will roll in 9 birdies, and you're like, oh yeah, that's KH Lee. That's what he does. Have you thought about DFS for Live? Bill, I'm very warm to it, but it has to be when football's over, right? I just don't have enough time with college football, NFL football, but I am warm to it whenever 2023 rolls around. Degenerate 75 takes over the fucking PGA DFS community. Okay, thoughts on JT Poston? Maybe bounce back a week after the missed cut the last time out? I really like JT Poston. JT Poston fairly priced. JT Poston low owned. JT Poston can roll the rock. Sign my ass up, Brad. I'm in. Nobody wants to play him. The big guy will play him. Eli Mitchell. Dejan, did you happen to see the Haskett tweet about players saying the greens are still soft? It defied the usual regrass logic. Okay, hey, Eli, that's a really great comment, man. I don't really see now a guy that in my Discord that I really trust told me that, but now you're telling me this. You know what? I'll probably just won't even fucking factor it in. I probably won't even factor it in. But that's a great, I am going to go look up that tweet. Thank you, Eli. Wait, are you the running back for the 49ers? How's the knee, brother? Okay. LOL. Hammer. All right, Nick, how many times do you let a player F you over before you break up with him? Nick, this is the simplest answer, and every one of you need to – this might be the last question I answer, and I hope there's, 110 of you still in here? Look at me and you look me in the eyes. I am so guilty of this. When a player would screw me over in the past, I'd be like, fuck you, man. I'm never playing that guy again. I never get him right. And then what I realized is, like, that's on me. That's me trying to pick and choose whenever I think this guy's going to do well, and I'm the asshole that just always guesses wrong. When a guy always dicks me over, I just always play him. And there's some guys I just never play. I literally never play Ricky Fowler or Patrick Rogers. Or I only play Rory when I want to mush him, right? But then there's some guys that just always seem to screw me over. I never seem to get Adam Schenk right. I never seem to get Kyle Stanley right. And you know what? I'll still play him this week because you can't do that. That fucking reverse superstitious bullshit luck stuff that it's somehow connected, you got to forget about it. And like when somebody fucks you over in Showdown, my favorite thing to do is go play him the very next day because they're going to get it back for you, right? Keegan Bradley screwed everybody over in Saturday Showdown. Or was that Friday Showdown? I said, go play Keegan Saturday. He's going to go fucking ape shit. And he did. So you got to have a forgiving heart in DFS. And if you don't, well, then you're already a losing player. If you're literally holding grudges against players because they didn't perform well for your lineup and then you're not going to play them, well, now you're missing out on great opportunities to win future ones because they didn't just fuck you over. They fucked over a lot of people. And if you can be the fucking adult that realizes that shit ain't connected at all and there's nothing personal, well, that's how you gain an edge because there is a lot of fuckers out there be like, I'm never playing Keegan again. He shot one over today in easy conditions. And then he goes out and shoots an 8-under bogey-free round with a streak the next day, you dumb fucks. Okay, sorry. I get a little passionate about this. You know I love you, Nick. Other TPC courses fit? TPC courses tend to kind of follow the same model. You know what? I got a lot of drink here. I better get after this. Brant wants to know, will you play Rogers in Showdown after he is T1 after 36? Brant, he will be in every one of my lineups. Not because I care about winning, but just because I care about smashing the souls of chalk donkeys. Actually, Patrick Rogers is not chalk this week. If you want to play him, go ahead. Guy can roll the rock. I just don't think off the tee is as important here. I'd rather see a guy that finds fairways. So that's where I'm at, right? I don't love it. I think that's it, guys. The big guy wants to go eat. I'm going to go finish my drink, and I still got to go turn around and make another video for my fucking Discord tonight. I love those motherfathers. Thank every one of these guys right here and ladies. Appreciate you. And come check it out if you want to. It grows every day. I can't fucking believe so many people want to hear me talk about shit and give in-depth analysis. But that's what it is, you motherfathers. Come check out all my shit on my schedule. I appreciate all of you being here. I can't wait to do this again next Wednesday. The swing season is real. We are having fun. All the things are still real. The Sunday sweat, the Friday cut sweat, it's all still here. Enjoy golf. Clearly a lot of people do because fucking DraftKings, their contests are already filled up. So let's go have some fun. Let's kick some ass. You know I'll be back Friday and Saturday for the Showdown Hoedown. I hope you have enjoyed this show. I hope it has been informative. But most importantly of all, I hope you enjoy my outro, you motherfucker.